Hi one and all, and welcome to today's video on histograms, part of a Year 8 series of mathematical videos for my channel. Now, when I say my channel, I'm the MaffsGuru, otherwise known as Darren, and it is awesome having you along. Now, you're obviously here to find out about histograms, because you know all there is to know about bar charts, stem and leaf diagrams, pie charts, line graphs, column graphs, and you're like, I need that final piece of the puzzle. And ladies and gentlemen, yes, that's what this video is going to show you. But before I start, can I ask a massive favor? If you haven't already done so, can you subscribe? And over there is a red arrow that basically says, show me some support. I know these videos look awesome, but it's actually just me sitting in a room, a little person trying to do a big job. And your help is really, really appreciated. So clicking that subscribe button is awesome. It lets me know you're watching and that I'm actually doing this for a reason. Now, obviously, we start with a recap, and funnily enough, that's exactly what I just did. This video builds on a load of other videos that have already dealt with dot plots, column graphs, line graphs, stem and leaf plots, pie charts, and divided bar charts. And all of those things help us process and make pretty diagrams for continuous and discrete numerical data and categorical data. So that's all the stuff we're dealing with. If you're about to do a test on this stuff, then generally speaking, revising, writing notes is really, really helpful. But, you know, there is one more chart that we need to know about, and that's the histogram. To help us understand the difference between a histogram and a bar chart, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see now, there is a bar chart. And we've used these before. Do you notice the pretty colors? Yes. Do you notice the fact that we've got number of students up the side? Yes. Do you notice we've got color along the bottom? So bar charts help us deal with categorical data, and categorical data lets us deal with just letters, numbers, those type of things that we can't put in an order. Now, maths being maths, there is obviously all sorts of different ways we can talk about some things, and this here, I want to note, can also be called the word frequency. And frequency is going to become quite important for histograms. Now, Barry's at it again. Hashtag no more Barry. Come on, dude, what are you doing? But it's for you to remember this stuff. Write it down in your summary book. You know, try and commit it to memory. But one of the important things about bar charts here is, as I've got in bold, the gaps between the bars. Bar charts always have gaps between the bars, and that's because it's dealing with categorical data. Now, I suppose we need to turn around and say, well, what's that got to do with the price of fish? Nothing to do with the price of fish, and absolutely everything to do with what is a histogram. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, we have a histogram. And I suppose, what's the first thing we notice? No bars. So histograms don't have bars. Here is this frequency word. And frequency just means number of. How many of something are there? Along the bottom, we have number. So histograms seem to deal with numerical data, okay? This is amazing. What do we notice? Is there anything else? Well, the only other thing that we need to notice, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, is the numbers on the bottom. There's 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, what do you notice about the placement of those numbers? They're smack bang in the middle of those bars. Now, what that tells me is that this bar here deals with the data that relates to the number 0. There's only one number relating to this bar, and that's sort of going to make sense in just a moment. So, for example, I could have walked up to people and gone, hello, can you tell me your favorite number between 0 and 4? And they'll look at me going, what, nutter? Why would you want, anyway, and then I'll go, no, please, I'm doing a survey and you need to tell me. And it might well be that about 58 people liked the number 0. And here, what would that be? Maybe 29 people liked the number 1. So, nice and easy, bar chart, numerical data, no gaps. But then here's another example, and I'm deliberately leaving it large so that we can actually see it nice and big on the screen. So what do we now notice? Well, it's a bar chart. We've got frequency up the side. Thank you very much. We have a nice number scale that's even. We have some sort of a title which says class 1, but anyway. We've got score along the bottom, so it's numerical data. But hold on a moment. The numbers aren't in the center. And that's another great thing about histograms. Sometimes we can group data together. All right, so we can group them together. What this bar means here is that if I'd actually given people the opportunity to give me their favorite number between 0 and 50, then between the number 0 and now you're going to say 9 and I'm going to say, sorry, you're going to say between 0 and 10 and I'm going to go, no, it's between 0 and 9. And you're going to go, no, that 10 is on that line. It says 0 to 10. And the sad thing is that histograms, the one thing that trick people more than anything at histograms is those intervals, those gaps between the bars and the numbers on them trick people completely. So this is the way I want you to think about it. Imagine I did a survey with the answers, with the boxes or the solutions or the places I can write my answers written like this. Okay, so I'm on the street now and I say, hey, Bob, how are you? I don't know, he's actually called Bob. I said, can you give me a favourite number between 0 and 50? And he goes, yeah, 8. Now, I can see straight away in this diagram where to put the number 8. It fits between 0 and 10. 8 is between 0 and 10, yeah? Another guy comes up, 23, thank you very much. Another guy comes up, 38. The next guy comes up and says, yep, 20. And I have a problem. Where do I put the number 20? Because what we see is that 20 actually appears twice. And for this type of data, for intervals, you cannot have the number appear twice. So actually, what we do when we do histograms is we say, well, when we do the bars, we only use the start number. So we started at 0, my next interval starts at 10, my next interval starts at 20, then 30, then 40, then 50. So what that means is that actually between 0 and 9, 10 and 19, 20 and 29, 30 and 39, 40 and 49. Now that makes it a lot simpler because when that guy walks up and says 10, I know exactly where to put it. Now you're going to say to me, what about decimal numbers? What about decimal numbers? What about if we're allowed to give decimals? Well, same difference actually. I would just make that up to 9.9999999999999999999 and keep going. So long as I don't say 10, 10 goes in the next one, 19.999999, 29.9999, 39. You've got the point there, yeah? So the thing, as I just say, that tricks people about histograms is that this here is actually standing for the number 0 to 9. And a lot of people in my lesson said, yeah, but what about number 50? I know there's always an exception. This one here actually is 40 to 50, yes? Again, it is a trick. It is Barry at his finest. But the point of it is, we have to remember this stuff. And I suppose that's what makes maths tricky. So, grouping data together is absolutely awesome. But the problem we have with grouping is we lose our original data. And I'll come back to that in just a moment. So I suppose the question is, how do we draw a histogram? Well, here's an awesome example behind me because we draw them from a frequency table. What is a frequency table, MaffsGuru? It is a table what has frequencies. And there we go. So when we have our table, we generally have 2 columns. We can sometimes have 3 columns when we use tallies. And we remember those wonderful thing called tallies, yes? So moving it up just so that it's in the frame, we have that the number 0, so there's no interval here, there's no group. We're going back to our first diagram, had 57. And so I draw a gap, I draw a bar, and I make sure it goes up to 57. Then I draw another bar, remember joining to the first bar, and it goes 29 high, which is what we said before. 31. And actually, that's it. The most important parts are that you write the words frequency, you write what the bottom column or the bottom axis stands for, and you make sure that your bars are equal width and the correct height. So here is an example, ladies and gentlemen, extracted from the Cambridge Essentials textbook series. And we're going to use that example and what we've just talked about to help us draw one of these things. Now I'm going to sketch it, and it will be a dodgy sketch because I don't have a ruler, and to be fair, I'm writing in electricity. Fabulously exciting. But what we need to do is, first things first, we draw some axes. We know what goes up the side here. It is the word frequency, so I'm going to write the word frequency. We know what goes along the bottom because it's going to be this thing here. So number of words in story. So how many bars do we need? Because previously we've got a certain number of bars. Well, hopefully we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different bars. So I'm going to split this up into 5 equal sections. There we go, put an arrow on there. Don't forget that, MaffsGuru. How high is my frequency? How high have I got to go? Well, the highest number in the table is 12, and we generally go that little bit higher. 13 maybe, but I'm going to go to 14. The reason I'm going to go to 14 is I notice that most of these, except the number 3, are even numbers. And if they're even numbers, I'm going to go up in 2s, or I might go up in 10s. So in this situation, I'm going to go up in 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and don't forget 0. Now, what numbers are we going to put on our horizontal axis? What are we going to put? Well, remember, it's the start numbers. So 0, 100. So there's going to be 0 there. That's 100, 200, 300, 400, and 500. And now we've done the hard stuff, believe it or not. The easy stuff is to follow, because I'm just going to make my bars the right height. So the first one between 0 and 99.99, or 0 and 99, is 2 high. Between 100 and 199 is 10 high. So there we go, there's my bar. That doesn't necessarily look particularly great. 200 and 300 or 299. That high. 300 to 399 is 8, which is this high. And the last one is 3 high, which is there. And if I wanted to, I'd put color, and here I would put a titlegram, a title of histogram to show ... And no, you don't write the ... You actually say what it's showing. So number of words in a story. Drawing these things is phenomenally simple, and I don't believe it. That's actually the end of the lesson. Histograms, light bar charts, but no gaps, and those intervals there to try and trick you. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this. Hopefully it's been helpful. If it has, do me a favor in just a moment, subscribe. If not, do me a favor and subscribe and just turn off the notifications. Lol. It is awesome seeing you. This stuff continues. There will be more videos coming. I thank you so much for watching. Over there is that subscribe button if you can do me a favor of clicking it and telling your friends to join as well. Greatly appreciated. Otherwise, there is a video loading directly below it. I look forward to seeing you the next time on MaffsGuru.com or YouTube/MaffsGuru. Have a good day. Bye-bye.